lights are out and you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me.
Welcome everybody to Las Vegas Motor Speedway, home tonight of the Ghost Racing Xfinity Series. I am once again up in the booth, Mike Damoni. And after last week, we saw a heck of a race put on by these guys, leading to the last lap pass by Jordan Darnell. After Lucas Whitehead was able to lead most of the race. We had 4 cars coming to the finish, and it was one of the exciting races we've seen. This being the inaugural running of the series, I look forward to more of those races. They are just about done with practice here. Like right now we have had 13 cars take a test run on this track. And if lap times are anything, judging by what we're looking at here, pretty much the whole field is separated by about half a second. So we should see some good, tight, competitive races. After last week's race, we have Jordan Darnell leading the points with a total of 87. Lucas Whitehead sits back in second place with 84. led the most laps last week. This was a little bit off on the pit stop strategy, and the other guys took advantage. Rob Hadenbach is 82. Joe Bennett is 80, rounding out the top 5. Paul Ferdinini with 74, and Brian Tiffany also tied with 74. And if we jump over to the team standings, like we got 5 teams running in this series. North-South Motorsports in the lead with 74. Brett Level, Midnight, 65. Upca Motorsports, 52. They ran a heck of a race last week, but just got caught up in some of the pit strategy. Sizemore Motorsports and Southern Motorsports round out 5 teams. As we look here, early season race at Las Vegas, so the air temperature is only 70 degrees, 18% humidity, winds 10 miles per hour. Track temp is right around 101 degrees. So we will see how that track temperature leads to slick tires. See who's going to be the first one out on the track to get their qualifying run here. Like Rob Hadenbach's out on the track. As he starts his qualifying run. Who else is jumping out on track? Last week's winner, Jordan Darnell, coming to take his green flag for his run. Paul Ferdinini is out there as well. Come back and see what Rob's going to do here as he heads to the start-finish line. Puts up a 30.97 on that first lap. Paul Ferdinini jumps up to 30.71. Fastest time we saw in practice was a 30.67. Come back here and see Ron finish up his second lap. He improved it just slightly to a 30.90. Paul Ferdinini improved his to a 30.70. Jordan Darnell finished up his second lap as a 30.82. Brian Tiffany there just threw out a 30.81. Nick Truss completed his laps. A dual winner a couple weeks ago at 30.87. Like Matt Erickson is done as a 31. Ooh, Lucas Whitehead. Lucas Whitehead just finished his first lap as a 30.69. That on the pole last week as well. Looking to make it 2 for 2. Corey Stahl, fastest car in practice, finished his first lap with a 30.73. Gonna finish up his second lap here shortly. Cuts it close, gets in the dirt. Does not improve his time though. Stephen Ford just finished his second lap as a 30.86. Joe Bennett finishing his lap 31.07. Now we got Jeffrey Radke starting his qualifying run. Like he is gonna pull it in after that. Got a little loose in that out of the exit of 2 there and bumped that wall, and that was it. So it looks like everybody's pretty much completed their laps, except for, looks like Matt Bentley's gonna get out there now and see if he can throw down a fast qualifying time. Hey, going back to last week, it looked like he probably had the roughest trip of anybody. It's almost into that wall. Stays a little high, gonna cut it down to the white line and then try and probably cut it down as close as he can to get the fastest time he can. A 31.12 for Matt Bentley. Finished his second lap with 31.07. Tries to get it slow down to come down pit lane. Looks like we're pretty well set here. All right, as they get set to get gridded. Got about 45 seconds left, even though everybody's taking their qualifying run. So we'll have 13 cars line up on the grid, as long as like the only one that wasn't able to put up a qualifying time is Jeffrey Radke. We got Johnny Williams in the chat cheering for Matt Bennett. Number 46, Ghost sponsored Camaro from Southern Motorsports. All right, so as these guys come to grid, row one, leading and qualifying pole position is Lucas Whitehead again for Mid-South. And Paul was in the chat there, correcting me on the pronunciation of his name. He's going to start on the outside, and it's Paul Berdiani. Corey Stahl and Brian Tiffany in row 2. Jordan Darnell and Stephen Ford in row 3. Nick Trust, Rob Hadenbach in row 4. Shane Ledoux and Matt Bentley, row 5. Row 6, Joe Bennett and Matt Erickson. And qualifying 13th is Jeffrey Radke. Like I said, Lucas Whitehead is going to be in control here as we're coming down the backstretch. Paul Berdiani. I'll get it right by the end of the race, Paul. Corey Stahl, Brian Tiffany, Jordan Darnell, Stephen Ford, Nick Trust. Let's jump over here. Go look at the starter cam as the pace car dives to pit lane. And Lucas Whitehead gets that good jump that he got last week as well. Floats to the outside, trying to run that high line. Corey Stahl stays low, ducks in right behind him. As Lucas jumps up in front of Paul Ferdinandi. Corey Stahl stays down low, goes to the inside, gonna pass Lucas Whitehead for the lead. He's going to stay as low as he can and almost ride that white line all the way around the track. We'll see this week if the draft is as important as it was before, as Lucas Whitehead jumps back to the lead. As Berdiani gives him a little push there to take him to the front. Behind them, we have last week's winner, Jordan Darnell, riding on the inside. And then we have Up the Motorsports, Nick Trust and Rob Hadenbach right there as well. Looks like Nick Trust is going to stay high and everybody else is going low. got Brian Tiffany and Jeffrey Radke behind them. Ethan Ford in 9th. Dane Ledoux behind them. And we got Matt Bentley staying high, kind of trying to stay out of trouble this week after got in a little trouble last week. Bringing up the end of the field is Joe Bennett. Come back up front here. Watch out, exit 2. Look how close they close to that wall. Almost like that wall can come out to get you. Whitehead is hoping to improve on his most laps led last week and finish the job here at Vegas. Last week we didn't see too many people take tires, and I'm going to imagine it's going to be pretty close to the same thing here. It's going to be mostly fuel strategy. As last week, that's what what they came down to, depending on when you took your last fuel stop. We had one guy try and stretch it clear to the end and came about 2.5 laps short and wasn't able to make it last. As Ferdiani's closing in, he gets almost to that back bumper, but not quite able to have enough speed to pass Lucas Whitehead there. These guys are pretty well settled down. Got Ticker up there. Lap 8. But like I was saying, these guys do have 4 sets of tires. But I imagine it's going to be mostly fuel strategy, with it being only 100 laps, but they are only running 50% fuel, so it will definitely come into it. Let's take a look at our biggest mover right now. Also, he happens to be the only Toyota in the field, and that's Jeffrey Radke. Didn't quite get the qualifying run he wanted. Had a little trouble coming out of turn 2 there. Took that wall, but starting in 13th, he's up 7 positions at the moment for midnight threat level. Gonna make a pass on his teammate Jordan Darnell. So he'll be up 8 positions. See if they get it worked out here. Good to see North-South Motorsports, Brian Tiffany tucking in behind Jordan Darnell, getting ducked to his inside, trying to make a pass there as well. Lap 11. Let's jump up here and we'll go through the field again real quick. Lucas Whitehead, driving the number 3 Wrangler Chevy. Paul Ferdiani, 33 Ford. For North-South Motorsports from Pittsburgh, PA. We got Corey Stahl, Youngstown, Ohio, running that 66 Chevy midnight front level. We jump back to Friendswood, Texas. Rob Hattenbach in the Cup to Motorsports number 5 Chevy. Talk a little bit about Jeffrey Radke, the 51 Toyota. Brian Tiffany, the 35 Ford Midnight Threat level. Got that great news on the back. Last week's winner and current points leader for the Midnight Threat level, Jordan Darnell, coming from Dalton, Georgia. Up to Motorsports number 88, Nick Trust. Go back to Lowell, Mass, Stephen Ford, 27 Chevy. Shane Ledoux, number 12, Midnight Threat level Motorsports from Pembroke. North-South Motorsports 00, Joe Bennett, Matt Erickson, and Matt Bentley. Now, jump back up here and take a look at this flag. How you can get this to work. Yep, out of turn 2, just hit that wall. Back, take a little look here. A little farther here. It's up there, and that wall just, sometimes it just comes out to grab you. Couldn't get it slowed down, hit that inside wall. Lucky for him, there's only 13 cars in the field. He'll come down to the pits and, or make it to the pits and get his fast repair and see if he can right this ship with that. Looks like Lucas Whitehead's taking 4 tires. Like Jeffrey Radke, Corey Stahl, Lucas Whitehead, and pretty much everybody else taking 4 tires. Only 2 that looks like they just took fuel is Rob Hattenbach and Brian Tiffany. We had a few people that either had more damage on their car from scraping walls, or they had a couple penalties. It's been a long time in the pits. see on this restart if tires are going to be more important, or if tires don't matter so much. Pace car dumps down to the inside. Cars hit the Geico restart zone, and they're away. Looks like Rob was able to get a good jump. Jumps back to the outside. We got Corey Stahl down on the inside, Brian Tierney and Lucas Whitehead are on the outside. Lucas Whitehead jumps down to the inside, is going to follow Corey Stahl. Looks like Nick Truss was almost into that outside wall as well. We just saw Pretty Annie do. Rob Hadenbach's in front. Corey Stahl down to his inside. Looks like they're 2x2, 3 wide now. Coming to the start-finish line. Corey Stahl on the inside. Rob Hadenbach in the middle. Lucas Whitehead on the outside. If they're going to stay 3 wide as Jeffrey Radke comes down to the bottom line as well. Oh, he was Lucas Whitehead was able to save that. Looks like it almost was a little neck code there with Rob Hadenbach. They were able to save it, slow down, and get back in line. Corey Stahl is our new leader, with Lucas Whitehead breathing down his neck at the moment. Lucas Whitehead jumps down to the inside. Stahl floats back down. Looks like Jeffrey Radke is going to come down to the inside and try and make a pass on Lucas Whitehead for second. He is almost able to get the nose under Corey Stahl there, but not quite. Corey Stahl's running the middle line, basically saying, if you want it, go ahead and try and take it. Radke jumps to the outside. He did have the fastest lap that time of a 30.83. Lucas Whitehead, though, is right on his back bumper. We'll see if they can hook up and maybe make a pass on Corey Stahl. Rob Hadenbach, after a near miss earlier, is falling back a little bit. Teammate to his inside, Nick Truss. And you have the 2 of Matt Erickson. And while we have a minute here, we're going to go ahead and step aside and pay some bills. You won't miss any of the action. Picture.
Drivers that took time, all of them within 3.5 tenths of each other tonight is going to be a very closely competitive race.
As the field works its way out of the 3-4 complex, the only thing that's left to say is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point safety harness, because race fans, it's showtime!
Amazing looking cars already. Green flag will fly.
Well, oh, the rocket! Well, one thing that you're going to see at this track that we haven't seen the last few weeks is a surface that's multi-group. I think this is the first multi-group surface we're going to have.
After an amazing race at Daytona, we now come to the West Coast and Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California for the second round of the Way She Goes Racing League Cup Series.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Once again, this is the Ghost Xfinity Series live from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I am Mike Demoni, and we are watching this great run here. These top three cars. While we were away, Jeffrey Radke was able to make the pass on Corey Stahl and is pulling away almost a quarter of a second. The Corey Stahl has been able to keep Lucas Whitehead at bay for the moment. We got David Stallman in the chat here for Corey Stahl. Hashtag Stahl Army. Get our biggest mover at the moment here. Actually going to be 00 of Joe Bennett. He's up 7 positions now, currently sitting in 4th. After some early trouble and clipping that wall, coming out of 2. Paul Ferdiani has made his way all the way back up to 7th. Like I said, Jeffrey Radke had a little trouble in qualifying. Didn't put down a qualifying lap that counted and started 13th and is all the way up to position 1, passing the entire field. And we are 31 laps into 100 of this race. I don't know if it matters much or not, but Leader's also the only Toyota in the field, for what it's worth. And it looks like the drivers that didn't take tires would not be good thing, as they have fallen all the way back after starting 1st and 2nd after that last caution. They are now sitting in position 10 and 11. We have a car headed to the pits now. Shane Ledoux. Don't know what is going on there. Jump back up to the front. It looks like Joe Bennett is right to the back bumper of the 3 of Lucas Whitehead. Like they're running just a little bit different lines, but you can see when they come out of 2 there and head to that new straightaway there, it is so close to that wall. Almost like it tries to come out and grab you. Looks like Joe Bennett's going to be working his way to try and make that pass. Just doesn't quite have enough. Backs off a little bit, but doesn't float up into him. We can find a race on the track that's go look at last week's winner, Gordon Darnell. Him and Ferdiani almost got into it there. He's running low, trying to make that pass. But he is going to be able to, but he's... Ooh, Ferdiani almost touches that wall again. That wall and him are definitely not going to be best friends by the end of this race. Thanks again for everybody joining me here on YouTube. Go ahead and put who you're rooting for in the chat. Ask me some questions. I mean, give the driver a little more go time. As you see, Jordan Darnell just bounced up into that wall. Looks like he got a little loose. Back towards the front here, we have Joe Bennett and Lucas Whitehead still battling that out. Let's go ahead and jump on board with Joe Bennett. It's out of the gas, just kind of lets it float in there. Back on it, gets right to the back bumper of Lucas Whitehead. Tries to get right close to it and then just has to let off. Looks like Bennett's able to let off and get back to the gas just a little bit quicker than Whitehead at the moment. You just see Whitehead kind of bounce up towards the wall there. Back from Whitehead's car. You see how close Joe Bennett gets that forward towards the back bumper there. As we did that, Jeffrey Radke pulling away. He's a little over a second in front of Corey Stahl at the moment. He was just able to pass. Oh, and he went hard into the wall. Let's jump on board there. Take a look. Comes out of two with clips and just rides that wall, able to get it down. And he is headed to the pits. Did not bring out a caution, so Corey Stahl is our new leader. Radke was able to take a few others with them as Lucas Whitehead, Paul Ferdinandi, Nick Truss, Rob Hattenbach, Matt Bentley, all head to pit lane. Like only 3 cars are on the track at the moment. Corey Stahl, Joe Bennett, and Matt Erickson. As Corey Stahl jumps to the pits, Joe Bennett is going to take over and lead the lap. Get that all-important bonus point. And it looks like maybe hitting that wall is not going to be such a bad thing for Radke, as everybody else came to pits as well. Joe Bennett's coming to the pit lane this time. You can get that woed up enough. There you see Radke coming back. hitting that wall must have done something, because looks like he's a man on a mission, running the fastest lap of the race of 30.74. And it looks like he will go ahead and inherit the lead again. So even clipping that wall. He is able to maintain that lead. And actually, with the pit stops, it looks like he's improved it. Is 3.5 seconds ahead of Lucas Whitehead at the moment. Looks like those pit stops spread out this field quite a bit, as we have a little over 3.5 second gap between first and second, 4.5 to third, 2.5 back to fourth, almost 3 back to fifth. Nick Fort's pretty close to Nick Tress there. Ferdiani is close as well, second. Looks like that might be our closest battle right here between Hadbach and Ferdiani. As we are halfway through, we'll do a little turnabout cycle. Caution is out. Back and see what we got here. Rob Hadenbach just gets into Ferdiani and turns right in front of him. Just gets caught and around he goes. See if he's able to get it going and make it back to pit lane. As we do that, it's like almost everybody is coming in. I think Joe Bennett's staying out for the moment. Matt Matt Erickson staying out. It looks like 46. Matt Bentley. Looks like Matt Bentley staying out. I think he was hoping to get one of his laps back, but it looks like that won't happen with Bennett and Erickson staying out. So second caution of this race. Looks like Hattenbach was able to use his faster pair and get back out on the track. And you see Joe Bennett, Matt Erickson, and Matt Bentley all hit the pit lane. So that will leave Radke, Whitehead, and Stahl back on the front. We are lap 54 through 100. Last week at Daytona, we saw a lot of pack racing. This week, it's all spread out and a lot of real racing. We saw a couple three-wide instances. We saw only a couple cautions this week. We only had one last week. Imagine we're gonna see who can, what pit strategy is gonna work. If somebody's gonna like break it down in half, or if these cautions are gonna continue and somebody who didn't pit's gonna stay out and make the right call and win the race that way. And while you're joining us on YouTube, make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe, turn on those bell notifications. That way you never miss a race. We got races 6 days a week right now. Tuned in a little earlier. You got the Gunners race, and then I believe Way She Goes is also on tonight. Got this race. Got a couple series coming back shortly on Thursday and Friday. Sunday, you have Sunday Night NASCAR. So look forward to all those coming back and constantly action here. Monday night we have clean racing. Tuesday we have a triple header with extreme scoring, Next Gen Cup Series. We have includes the night with Western States Racing League, which has been around season 47 right now. So as that pace car jumps to the inside, Jeffrey Radke has the button as he heads to the Geico restart zone. Lucas Whitehead on the outside. Jeffrey Radke gets a good jump and is able to put a car length or two between him and Whitehead and Stahl. Stahl stays down on the inside. Whitehead stays high. Stahl's going to be able to make that pass. Not quite. Like he might have to jump in behind Whitehead and give up second. Radke's already out to half a second lead with that good jump he was able to get. So we got Radke, Whitehead, Stahl, Tiffany. Hattenbach jumps up in front of Joe Bennett there. as you see the 27 of Stephen Ford almost come in contact with that outside wall. As the 46 of Matt Bentley's making his way towards the front, trying to get his lap back. Double zero of Joe Bennett's right on the back bumper of Nick Truss trying to make that pass. Stephen Ford's able to pass Matt Bentley. Jordan Darnell is going to probably jump down to the inside if he has room. Looks like he bobbled just a little bit. So Bennett jumps to the outside and Nick Truss going to try and make the outside line work. Nick Truss stays to the inside. Rob Hadenbach makes the pass on Brian Tiffany there, almost slides up into that wall. These guys are back racing once they got that caution to bring them closer together. We got Whitehead, Stahl, and Hadenbach right together here. Stahl down on the inside, gonna try and force Whitehead high. Hadenbach right behind Stahl. Looked like he was gonna almost think about making it 3 wide, but thought better of it. Whitehead stays high. Stahl is going to slide up just a little bit. Rob Hadenbach gets down to the inside, going to make it 3 wide coming out of 2. 3 wide down the backstretch. But Stahl's able to pull ahead and drop down in front of Hadenbach there. And if you're Radke, you have to be liking this as he's out to almost 3/4 of a second lead. Stahl jumps to the outside, gonna block Whitehead for a little bit. Like Brian Tiffany is closing in as well. He's trying to decide which way he wants to go. Stahl's able to clear, settle down for a little bit as these guys fall back into line. They do that. Go ahead and go side by side for a minute. You won't miss a thing.
Drivers that took time, all of them within 3.5 tenths of each other tonight is going to be a very closely competitive race.
As the field works its way out of the 3-4 complex, the only thing that's left to say is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point safety harness, because race fans, it's showtime!
Amazing looking cars already. Green flag will fly.
Well, oh, they're wrecking! Well, one thing that you're going to see at this track that we haven't seen the last few weeks is a surface that's multi-group. I think this is the first multi-group surface we're going to have.
After an amazing race at Daytona, we now come to the left coast and Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California for the second round of the Way She Goes Racing League Cup Series.
Welcome back, everybody. While we were away, Rob Hattenbach made the pass to Corey Stahl and Radke, putting that inside line, and now he's out to a second lead. And what that told me was tires are going to be involved. First pit stop, Rob did not take tires, he just took fuel. Last pit stop, he took tires. And it looks like everybody else just took fuel. Jump back here to Ericsson, Darnell, Ferdiani. They are battling it out, hot and heavy. As the two of Matt Ericsson jumps down to the inside of Stephen Ford and try and make that pass with Jordan Darnell. Tries to tuck up behind, and then he'll flow high. Matt Ericsson gets clear down on the apron. Try and make that work. Jordan Darnell's on the high side, almost clips that wall. But it's still wheeling pretty quick. Matt Bentley watching the cars behind those guys. Jump up. See if Whitehead and Radke can see Corey Stahl was able to make the pass on Radke. Lucas Whitehead has got to be a little bit frustrated with the way Dave's going. Qualified first and has been running pretty consistently, but just not back towards the front. We'll see if next pit stop he gets those 4 fresh Goodyears and is able to make the climb. Imagine we see pit stops coming here in a second. Sounds like we had somebody. Maybe not. Sounds like somebody's sitting on the wall. Joe Bennett's going to try and pass the 35 of Brian Tiffany on the inside. Doesn't have too much issue. Back up towards the front. Corey Stahl has been able to put 3/4 of a second in front of Radke, but he's still losing time to Hadnock. Everybody else is pretty well spread out. You just see like nobody around. Second place driver Corey Stahl there. look up here. Hanback's almost a corner in front. Closest battle on track is going to be back here with Whitehead and Radke. Look at how far that gap is. Here right now, kind of second place and then third and fourth. Looks like Lucas Whitehead's going to try to make that pass on the outside. He gets right to his back bumper, but doesn't look like he can roll through the corner. Joe Bennett drops down to the inside. He's going to try and make the pass on Whitehead. As Radke jumped to the pits, it looks like Whitehead's going to follow. Tiffany's hitting, Ford's hitting, Darnell, Trust. Everybody followed Radke down. And Radke did exactly what I thought they were going to do. Like he was in there for about 15 seconds, got 4 fresh Goodyears. It's hopefully going to make that be the winning move. Like we've got 4 cars out on the lead lap at the moment. Hadenbach, Dahl, Bennett, and Erickson. Johnny Williams was talking about painting cars and stuff, and I gotta say, I love the fact that all these cars are pretty much painted with their team names. Makes it easy for the broadcaster to know what team you're running for. So I appreciate that, guys. As Stahl and Hadenbach come to the pits, leaves Joe Bennett out on the track. See if he's gonna delay it a couple laps, or gonna try and hope there might be. Yep, jumps to headed to the pits right now. Oh, got loose into the wall. Just was on the brakes too hard. Saw that last week too, coming to a money stop, and same thing just happened. Well, Lucas Whitehead got 4 fresh Goodyears and is on a tear. He just put down a 30.67, the fastest lap we've seen in this race. But at the moment, it looks like Matt Erickson is on the lead, and he is probably going to have to come to the pits this time, but he was coming a little hot. See if he got woed up enough to not get a penalty. So Radke's going to take over the lead again. And this time, he's got a 3.5 second lead. Stops, we'll run down through the field again. Like everybody took 4 fresh Goodyears. So Definitely found out tires will matter. So up front here, we've got Jeffrey Radke, the lone Toyota in the field. Biggest mover of the race, started last as he couldn't throw down a qualifying lap. Up 12 positions. Not too far behind him, 3.25 seconds, is Hupke Motorsports' Rob Hattenbach. Threw in a good race last week. And we've got the Wrangler number 3 of Lucas Whitehead, pole setter last weekend this week. See if he can prove his position and take home the W. Corey Stahl, Brian Tiffany from North South Motorsports, Susan Ford, last week's winner Jordan Darnell, Joe Bennett, up to Motorsports Nick Trust, Matt Erickson, Paul Ferdiani after a couple rough incidents here, and we've got Matt Bentley, and it looks like Shane Ledoux put it on the hauler and took it home. Radke is slowly losing his gap that he had built up to Hattenbach. As it's now down to 2 3/4 seconds. Closest race on track, though, probably back here with Joe Bennett and Jordan Darnell. With 12 laps left to go, we will see who's going to win this race. Pretty spread out. We got basically a 2-second gap, but Hattenbach is running almost a quarter second faster than Radke is, but Radke might be saving his tires for the end. They're letting it go a little bit. Even with fresh tires, they've slowed down quite a bit since they hit it. 10 laps to go. We got Radke and Hattenbach. And he's closing the gap with every lap. Now it's down to 2.25 seconds. Radke jumps down to the apron, trying to get everything he can, trying to make it into the biggest circle he can. And it is down to under a second. Whitehead and Corey Stahl are going to be battling it out. Good moment for that last podium spot. And looks like everybody else is pretty well spread out. We got Darnell and Bennett here battling out for 7th. Jump back up front. As Hadenbach is right to his back bumper. But we will see if Radke was playing a little possum or if he just is running a little bit slower. And back to his inside, gonna make that pass side by side as they come towards the front stretch here. Hadenbach slides up in front of him, gonna clear. Radke comes down below that, yep, the white line, trying to get every inch he can. 6 laps to go. Looks like after that first pit stop, Hadenbach figured out something, because that first pit stop he went from the front to the back real quick. Went from a 3.5 second trailing. Rob went from 3.5 seconds trailing Radke to now almost a second lead. And you see Stahl and Whitehead behind them. 5 laps to go. He's up to a second lead. It looks like maybe Stahl and Whitehead are closing in just ever so slightly as well on Radke. Laps to go. Rob Hadenbach is looking to improve on his finishing position last week. Finished second. Looks to do one better here. Two laps to go. Popsicle sticks in the air. 2.25 second lead. His spotter has to be telling him just hit his marks, take it easy, bring this thing home. Jeffrey Radke has run one heck of a race starting in position 13, all the way up to leading. Probably led the most laps by my count, so it is going to be a good day for Radke as well. Final lap. As we will see if Lucas Whitehead is able to make the pass on Corey Stahl to get the lead and improve his position. One better from last week. We'll jump up here to the front and watch Rob Hadenbach take the checkered flag. Your winner of the Xfinity Series for the Ghost Racing League, Rob Hadenbach. Jeffrey Radke coming in second. Lucas Whitehead able to make that pass, come in third. Corey Stahl in fourth. Brian Tiffany fifth. Stephen Ford just making the finish line there. And here comes Joe Bennett up 4 positions to number 7. Jordan Darnell, last week's winner. Nick Trust. Matt Erickson. After a rough week this week, Paul Ferdiani comes home in 11th. Matt Bentley brings it home in 12th. these guys celebrate a little bit. See if we can get to have them jump into the waiting room and get them. Get an interview with our top 3 finishers. Laps at Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the Ghost Xfinity Series. I think we saw a good race tonight. We saw a little bit of everything. Some green flag pit stops, a couple cautions, nothing too major, and away we go. Drag Rob down. Hey Rob, you got a copy?
Yeah, can you hear me?
You're really, really quiet.
How about now?
Okay. Hey Rob, good race tonight. Did one better than last week, bringing home the win.
Yeah, how about that race, boys? Man, that's awesome, man. That's my first ever league win in any league I've ever been in, so I'm pretty pumped about it. And man, it feels good to finally get that monkey off my back.
Yeah, especially after last week leading to the final lap and just getting past. Man, it was one heck of a race. I was a little worried at the beginning. Saw you and I don't remember who. Somebody else looked like they just took fuel, and everybody else took tires, and you guys just fell back through that field.
Oh yeah, I mean, I knew we had 4 tires and 100 laps. So I figured, every 25 laps we'll just, change tires or whatever. Maybe even save a set towards the end just in case we have a late caution. But yeah, I went in there and just got fuel the first time, and I started falling back. I was like, we still got 70 laps to go. I'm not too worried about it. I'll eventually catch up, and then I got in, the third 3 Paul, which I apologize for that. I wasn't intentional. It's kind of hard when you don't have triple screens. You only have one screen. You can't really see what's on the left or right of you. So I apologize for that one.
Yeah, it looked like that corner was a little bit dangerous coming out of 2 there. Had a couple guys hit that wall or almost hit the wall. Well, congrats on your win, man. That was an awesome race. Kind of got spread out a little bit, but had a little bit of back and forth, some green flag pit stops, a couple cautions, but
oh yeah, I mean, Chris is doing everything he can to recruit some more guys to come race the Xfinity series. I mean, it's a good series. There's some good guys in here. Hopefully we can get some more people in here to get a fuller field. That way we can really put our, I guess, racing skills to the test. If you want to put it that way.
Yeah, show what you guys can do. Yeah, definitely. Well, anybody you want to thank while you're here, and I'll let you go celebrate after that.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Chris Hubka for letting me, drive one of his cars. Broken Axle Motorsports, Time Capsule LLC. I also like to thank my wife, who lets me come out here every night and race with you boys.
All right, Rob, I will let you go celebrate, and I will talk to you hopefully next week.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I'll see y'all next week.
Yep. All right. You guys got a copy?
Yeah.
Okay. All All right, I couldn't drag you guys up, so we'll just do it here. Jeffrey, man, that was a tremendous race. You guys, I mean, you didn't qualify or had an issue qualifying. It looked like you hit turn 2 there and still came all the way from the back to lead the most laps by my count. Was there anything you could do to maybe catch Rob there?
I started falling back on that last run, and so I tried to undercut, do a little short pitting, and I guess he was able to keep a little more new in his tires than I could.
Yeah, it looked like it's about 3 lap different, but I mean, I didn't know if you were saving tires or just kind of waiting just a little bit, because I thought maybe when he got to you, you'd be able to pull away a little bit, but it was a tremendous race nonetheless. I mean, you had that little issue when you hit the wall, but once you came to pit road, it seemed like you triggered everybody else to follow, so it didn't hurt you any, got you back out on the lead.
Yeah, when I hit, I was worried about damage, so I figured I lost some time. I might as well just jump in, and luckily everybody followed. And surprisingly, I didn't have any damage from it, so I was able to continue on. I guess better strategy for next time. I'll be in the victory lane.
Yeah, that was a tremendous race. Congratulations on your second place. Anybody you want to thank before I let you out of here?
My wife, as always, for letting me do it. My son for staying asleep the whole time. And you guys for broadcasting. You do a great job.
All right. Well, thanks, Jeffrey. I will hopefully talk to you next week.
Yeah, thanks.
Hey, Lucas. Awesome qualifying run. Did a little better this week. Didn't were able to crack the podium. Think you would have had anything for the top 2 this week?
Short run, I was competitive. I was quick, but them guys was definitely better at saving their tires than I was. I was doing all I could. I felt like to save and be competitive with their speed, but they just found something I couldn't find. So, especially Robert there at the end, I really thought it was Jeffrey's race from the pace that he set early on. When he got out in the lead, he was just doing such a good job with it. But Robert, when he done that pit strategy with not taking tires early and then saving them more sets for the end, I guess really paid off.
Yeah, I was a little worried when I saw a couple guys just take fuel and then everybody else took tires and they just like sank like a rock through the field. But
yeah, this was a major tire race.
Yeah. But 2 weeks, 2 poles, sitting second in the points at the moment, probably first now. But yeah, tremendous run this week. Anybody you want to thank before I let you go?
Just everybody at Sizemore, Ryan and Brock and Trey and Charles. They're all great teammates, and throughout the week they give a lot of tips and help with practices and stuff, so we can be competitive every week when we get on here.
Awesome. Well, let's go celebrate your podium finish, and look forward to talking to you next week.
Thank you. Looking forward to it.
All right, everybody. That was your top 3 finishers tonight. A little bit short field, but like they said, recruiting more people. And as you can tell by the way they race, only a couple cautions here. We got, like I said, we have Hanbach, Radke, and Whitehead finishing 1, 2, 3. Corey Stahl finishing 4th. Brian Tiffany, Stephen Ford 5th and 6th. The double zero, Joe Bennett finishing 7th. Jordan Darnell, last week's winner, brought home 8th. Nick Trust in 9th. Matt Erickson in 10th. Paul Ferdiani, after a little bit of rough run there, brings home the 11th. Matt Bentley in 12th. And Shane Ledoux put it on the hauler early tonight. once again, thanks everybody for allowing me into your homes on this YouTube channel. Once again, hit that like and subscribe button, and you will turn on that bell notifications, and you'll get notifications every time we go live. We do this 6-7 days a week, multiple times a day. Once again, this is Mike Timoni, and you are watching the ESBN Broadcasting Network. Have a good night, everybody.